Where is Vlad the Impaler buried? This infamous prince of Wallachia was the inspiration for the legend of Dracula, and while his body was supposedly laid to rest in the 1470s at Snagov Monastery, his grave is now empty. Those who have claimed to find it have disappeared from the public eye. So is Vlad's final resting place lost forever? Or is it being hidden from us? The brutal tactics used by this medieval ruler made him one of the most feared men of his time. He earned his nickname because he liked to have his enemies impaled, often leaving them to die slowly from their wounds. And it was this penchant for violence that inspired Bram Stoker to create Dracula, the blood-sucking monster who metes out his punishment through a bite that renders his victims slowly over a period of days. But while Stoker drew heavily from the tales of Vlad the Impaler for his famous novel, there is no evidence that Vlad dipped his bread in blood. In fact, despite his terrifying reputation, many of the claims made about him throughout his life are likely exaggerated or entirely fabricated. What isn't up for debate, however, is that Vlad died in battle in the 1470s, and his body was supposedly taken back to his estate at Snagov Monastery for burial. When archaeologists finally opened the supposed site of his tomb in the 1930s, they found it was empty. To add to the mystery, the bones that were discovered nearby belonged to horses, not a human. This led some to believe that Vlad's remains had been moved, or that the grave was never used at all. While others claimed that Vlad's body was burned rather than buried, this seems unlikely given that accounts from the time state that he was laid to rest in a church. Since the 1930s, several other tombs have been linked to Vlad the Impaler, including one in Bucharest and another in Naples. None of these can be confirmed as his final resting place, however. In 2005, a grave was unearthed inside the crypt of a church in Italy, and while it initially received little media attention, reports of its discovery soon surfaced. The story circulated widely online, and for a while, the crypt became known as Vlad the Impaler's grave. But shortly after, the site was mysteriously removed from public records, and those who had come to see it were turned away. Locals around Snagov Monastery warned that if Vlad's grave was disturbed, it would bring misfortune to those responsible. Some researchers claim that strange things began to happen to them after they started looking for the grave, including sudden illnesses and the death of a young girl. While these stories may seem like nothing more than local legends, they do add an eerie twist to the tale of Vlad the Impaler. Whether Vlad's remains were lost, destroyed, or deliberately obscured, the mystery of where he is buried continues to fascinate. After all, there are few crimes as heinous as robbing a dead man of his eternal rest. Or is there? Vlad the Impaler may have met his demise more than 500 years ago, but his legacy lives on. Not only did he inspire one of literature's most famous monsters, he also left behind a burial site that may be best left undisturbed. For those who seek to uncover the truth behind Vlad the Impaler's final resting place, the answer may be lost to history. Or perhaps it's being guarded by the grave itself. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. See you next time.